Good morning. We're going on our walk. Oh, you know what? I should see if it's recording my voice. But you know what? We're just gonna say yes. So, I gotta get back. Gotta do my PT, my daily PT. So, yeah, I do my daily PT because I'm hypermobile and I like to keep my bones in place. Do I like doing the daily PT? No. But do I like dislocations? No. So when I don't want those, I do the PT. But yeah. So looks like we're getting a bagel place. We'll see if they have gluten-free bagels. Yeah, and also being hypermobile, being female, have autoimmune. So food sensitivities out the wazoo. So very interesting. So, but yeah, I'll go more in depth probably in another vlog, but not right now. So, trying to get out, trying to move as much as possible. It's getting colder, so hence the hat and the gloves. So, also being hypermobile, fragile skin, delicate skin. It's not stretchy, but it's soft. So, slight cold and lack of moisture in the air, and I start cracking. So, when I first started tattooing, I thought I was just a fragile little girl. Couldn't figure out why my hands were so icky. Was it the powder in the latex gloves? But then I stopped using latex, went to nitrile. Then it was constantly moisturizing and finally finding a good moisturizer. But yeah, I thought it was just being female. And no. So, but then add that on, 27 years later and starting menopause and whatnot. So then that, dry skin, dry everything, just makes it a little bit even more difficult to stay hydrated. So, yeah, there's that. So, but I, carry around an Nalgene bottle with me. I have hydration drops from Buoy, and I try to keep myself hydrated, try to eat my healthy fats, all of those good things. And it's not always easy to keep up, and then you got to drink more. Like I had a lymphatic massage yesterday, so got to keep up your hydration more with that then, because it's stimulating your lymph system and needs hydration to do that. So all the things, yeah. So, let's see. What's happening at the shop is our matching tattoo event for November and December. I'll make sure the link to our socials or our link tree, I'll put that into the description box. So, we're going to be doing that for November and December. We're going to have our exposure control plan meeting coming up. If anybody knows what that is, because I think of all of the shops I ever worked in, nobody ever did these. So, an exposure control plan meeting is an OSHA, I believe an OSHA requirement, but don't quote me. But it's supposed to give you a rundown of everything that happens in the shop or in the workplace and why. Exposure control, because in the tattoo community, when you're in the shop and stuff like that, you're exposed to potentially exposed, your exposure is potentially to bloodborne pathogens. So you put in controls then so that you, your staff, your other artists and stuff like that, and your clients, everybody's safe. And so the meeting should happen once a year. You should also have your exposure control plan, which is a written document. The APT, our trade organization, the Alliance of Professional Tattooists, has a template. And I actually don't know off of the top of my head where that can be found these days, because I've been taking the class and been a member almost my whole career. So I have a hard copy of this. Where it is digitally, where it lives digitally right now, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And but the exposure control plan, like I said, goes over all of your shop going-ons. I can't even think of the right words right now. I had coffee, but my brain's still slightly not awake. I think it's just the change of the weather, and it's hibernation weather. I think I just want to go hibernate. But yeah, exposure control plan meeting. You go over your exposure control plan. Like I said, written document. APT does have a template for it. I believe Kathy Money does also. But it's, to just sum it up, it's all of the controls that your business has put in place to reduce exposure. And so you go through, explain to the staff, and it's yearly, just like your bloodborne training should be done yearly because things change. That's also part of going into the meeting, is going over your plan and updating it, making sure that it's up to date. So, it doesn't have to be super long, but it should cover everything that happens in the shop and why. Never just say, this is how we do it. You have to give the reason behind it. You have to give the education and the knowledge behind it. And I think that's it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.